Alright, welcome to part 1 of the series. We'll do everything from the scratch. That is, we'll be learning the spanner. There are basically 4 steps for spanner. So let's begin with the first step, that is creating an instance. Let's dive into the Google Cloud Console. So it looks something like this. So there are basically 2 ways to open spanner. So spanner is nothing but a database, a kind of a relational SQL database in short. We can directly search spanner like this, spanner. Another way is to go to solutions, all products. This is the method of navigation. We need to go down. Spanner belongs to the category of database. So under database, if you look here, we get spanner. So let's click on spanner. And the good part is that whenever we open a spanner, there are these steps already mentioned: get, up, and running. So here again we see these 3 steps basically. First is creating an instance, then the database, spinning up the database, then we'll be inserting and creating tables and running the query. Let's click on create a provisioned instance. We need to name an instance. Let's name it Cloud Guru Amit. So basically whenever we type an instance name, it automatically populates the same as instance ID by default. This is a star mark, that is a mandatory. Let's go ahead with the continue button. So there are now the high ability part. So regional, it basically might be replicating to 3 of the regions zones. Then multi-region means like combination of regions, like it can be basically 3 regions together. And also select one configuration. Let's select first regional. I'll show you. Let me select one like the central, US central, something like this. So looks good. See, whenever we select one, this you might be seeing that it gets populated. That is the ability. That is 3 separate zones we get for region. Similarly for multi-region we'll be getting 3. So we there is also a price comparison chart. Let's compare with some multi-region. For multi-region, let's select the US kind of thing, like Virginia and all. Let's select this. We can check it out, that especially the ability part, if we see, we can check that it provides a slightly greater high ability in terms of ability, and also in terms of cost. Definitely the multi-region will be always higher. Just note these things, because the more we go the more multi-region, the more the cost. Let me show you an example. Just please note this thing for the central US central. Let's select one multi-region. For multi-region, let's give it one arbitrary this thing. So yeah, so just remember, like multi-region will cost much. So let's select regional and proceed with this hands-on. Let's type central, US central. Looks good. Let's now configure the scaling in part. So spanner, we know, is famous for horizontal scaling. What do we mean by horizontal scaling? Horizontal scaling means the same size of instance gets replicated to many. Think like there are senior engineers, then there are junior engineers in your office. So junior engineers, let's say we are doing horizontal scaling, so it will be like 3 junior engineers if we scale up. Similarly, I mean horizontal scaling, if we do horizontal scaling, it will be 3 junior engineers. And if we vertically, there are concept of vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. So horizontal scaling means basically like duplicating the same type of thing. Vertical scaling on the other hand is like upgrading from senior engineer. Let's say you need one a junior, from junior engineer you need from like a senior engineer. So those kind, it's mean vertical. So that is the concept, basic concept. we can also mention auto scaling here. So auto scaling means minimum how many nodes we need and maximum how much. So let's create something like this, and there is also mention of when this scaling will happen. So when the node will be minimum 1 and maximum 2. So CPU like utilization, we can mention arbitrary 65 and storage. Then these nodes will come into picture. We can define any kind of target as per our requirement. And also the storage, if you look, it increases to 20 terabyte. Previously I believe it was 10. Let's check it out whether it changes or not. Yes, see, it multiplies by 10. 30 terabyte now we have. Let's give it a like, if we type 10, see, 100 terabyte. So we will do it for 2. Maximum looks good for us. We'll keep it as default. We can definitely change it to something. I know this is a basic tutorial anyway, it won't hit this much CPU utilization for simple creation of tables. Let's click on the create button so that it spins up an instance. Let's wait for a while. It says, yeah, the instance is created. All right, now our instance is created. So if we look at this table or the agenda, our first step is done, that is creating an instance is done. Next step is creating a database. So let's now create a database. Here we have the button create database. Let's click on it, create database. We need to name a database. Let's name it Cloud Guru Amit DB. Let's go down. Let's we can also write a DDL template, it's optional. We are keeping this tutorial simple. Click on create. It's creating. It's a very fast process, I have seen from my experience. All right, our database got created definitely. So next definitely we need to create a table. Let's click on create table. We can do it here or using Spanner Studio as well. Let's give it a shot, like we'll be clicking the create table. So here's a sample of it as well, basic sample, but I have already done my homework. I have already created one employee table. I'll be just doing copy paste. So this PDF will be available for diamond members or above as usual. So let's paste it. Let's now run it. The query is running now. You can see here the query running 5 seconds. On the left hand side, if you look here, the table count is 0. Once the execution gets succeeded, we'll be able to see the tables and definitely the structure. Employee ID is our primary key. So the command got succeeded. Here we can now see it dynamically generates like the value as 1. Let's expand that. And if we expand this employee table, we can see it contains 3 columns, which basically refers to these 3 columns. On the keys, if we expand employee ID, so employee ID is our primary key. So that's why this key symbol we are seeing. And here it also mentioned primary key uniquely identifies rows. So that is the basic definition of primary key. So let's go to the Spanner Studio. We can also fire the commands here. It's basically the Spanner Studio itself. If you look, if you are want to get a bigger picture of this, you don't want this. So let me show you how it looks. Let's click on Spanner Studio. So this interface is better, what I think. Since the table structure is created, now let's insert the data. So that's what is like we are done with the 3. Part 4 we need to do. That will complete the hands-on, that is insert data and query. So let's go back to our Word file, insert these dummy values. Let's copy paste it once again. Let's go and paste this in another editor. Let's insert these values. Let's run it. It takes a while to run it. All right, it's successfully succeeded. So next we can do a select star, or also there are also inbuilt functionalities there. If we click on these 3 dots, there's a section for preview data, which is nothing but like kind of select star from the limit, right? Let's run it. Anyways, there are not 10 records, I know. Let's run it. Let's check whether these inserted values got in the table or not. Yep, we got these four values which we have inserted here in editor 1. If you look, these values and these values are in the table. So we have successfully created one spanner. We have created tables, databases, and we have inserted values and queried the data. So I hope the concept for spanner is clear for you. So next we'll be proceeding with some quiz.